Spartan Race. Sorry we're a little bit late.
Sorry. Can I restart it?
No, it's all right, all good.
Yeah,
sorry we're a little bit late. And we're here with Systema instructor and high performance living coach, Kalvin Smith.
Hello everybody.
And we're going to talk through a little bit different. Normally we're just going through different ways of training for grip strength, for agility, for speed. But also our emotions and how we feel actually have a big impact on how we train and the results that we get from both our training, our performance, and actually life in general. So Systema is, from my tiny little understanding, is very much about dealing with our emotions and how that impacts on our movement. So Kalvin today is going to work through a few basic exercises, a few basic drills that we can do that will actually make us more aware of how our breathing impacts on our movement, how our breathing impacts on our emotions, and how ultimately all of these things come together to allow us to move more freely and maybe to take the opportunities on course, during training, and in life that otherwise we might miss because there's too much going on in front of us and in our head to actually take those opportunities. So,
Wonderful. Hey everybody, thanks for the opportunity, Matt.
Yeah, no worries at all.
So we've been training together for a little while now, so Matt's been coming to our sessions, and so basically what we like to do in Systema is not so much work on specific techniques, because Systema is also known as a martial arts system. I like to think of it as like an operating system for living. So ideally, whether you're a Spartan competitor, mum, a dad, brother, sister, teacher, educator, whatever, you want to live in ways that optimise good health and optimal performance at all times. If you're in competition, life is kind of a competition, right? So it's not like you get days off. And oftentimes we find that the times at which we are most stressed, the times at which we are most fatigued, are the times at which we need to perform at our best. That's not good, it's not bad, it's just the way the world works.
Oh look, so I've experienced it over the last couple of months. I've been getting the opportunity to do a little bit of training with Kalvin. There is no doubt that these simple, almost childlike exercises, but done mindfully and allowing ourselves to let movement and breathing actually teach us rather than the other way around, rather than us putting our brain and our thoughts into everything. They've had a huge impact on me and on my training. So yeah, Kalvin, what do you reckon? If we were going to give 2 or 3 things that everyone can do, what would it be?
Okay, so in expanding on that, what we really want to do is Systema sets a methodology. So it's a very simple methodology. First thing we focus on is our breathing, the quality of our breathing. So we want fluid, continuous breath. So what we like to do is breathe in through the nose, nice and relaxed, and when we let the out breath falls out of the body. We just let the body exhale normally. And so what we're wanting to do is constantly focus on what we're feeling, how we're feeling, and how the breath and our movement relates to that. So our first thing we're focusing on is the breathing. Okay. Our second principle is relaxation in the body. We want a relaxed body. We want a relaxed nervous system. Okay. And then we can actually feel what's happening around us, as well as what's happening to us and how much of that we're doing to ourselves. So again, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and relax. One of the ways we can relax the nervous system is just with this soothing movement. The same way you would soothe a baby, we soothe ourselves. So just gentle, small, relaxed movements, and just be aware of the comfort that comes into the body. Our next principle is basically posture. So you want to hold your body in ways that aren't excessively rigid, but almost like, I like to think of when you get out of bed on Sunday morning, you walk to get your orange juice from the fridge, you're just here, you're just very relaxed. As
So soft knees?
Very soft hips.
And relaxed hips.
Or we like to say like walking from the knees. So that if I take a few steps, if I'm very rigid, you see when I walk, you see this bobbing around in my head. It's quite unnecessary. Relaxed, almost like I'm out of bed on Sunday. You see, it's almost like I'm the nun from the Blues Brothers. You can't see the legs, I glide everywhere, and I'm feeling the whole body.
Oh, I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it, exactly.
I'm breathing.
You want a playful body, playful mind.
Yeah, okay, playful.
Yeah.
Well, this is something I think Spartan racers can relate to, because you've got to be a little bit crazy to do a Spartan race.
Yeah.
Already playfulness is in our nature.
Exactly, and you really want to cultivate that. You want the body of a happy child, literally. and the mindset. You want that natural resilience to come through.
I like that, the body of a happy child.
Yeah, definitely. You want the body to be able to take knocks, be resilient, and come back smiling.
Okay.
And one of the ways that we make sure that this whole suite of the relaxation, the posture, and the breathing is coming together is the quality of flow, the quality of movement. So breathing, relaxation, posture, movement.
Okay.
So movement can be, physiologically, how am I moving? Am I comfortable? Do I feel like I'm having a good time? Am I happy in my body? But also, flow also extends to emotionally, psychologically, what is going on inside of you. A stressed, tight, rigid mind produces stressed, tight, rigid movement, and acidic and corrosive movement. You don't want to bring injuries on yourself. So you want the body to flow, you want the mind to flow, you want to get out of your own way. You don't want these niggling thoughts of the next event is going to hurt, the next obstacle is painful. You let that go through your breathing.
Okay, so it's very interesting because even though Systema has got a martial aspect to it, when I hear about it and when I think about it, it does sound a lot like yoga. So my problem with yoga is when I try and let my body follow my mind through either holding poses or even meditation, I struggle.
Yeah.
So something about Systemas is kind of movement is actually your meditation. So that you kind of let the movement lead you.
Exactly.
So how would can you go through a couple of easy ways
Easy.
that we can let that happen?
Okay, so we have what we call like fundamental exercises in Systema. So basically things you can do a couple of minutes a day. So we can have things like a press up, leg raise, a sit up, and a squat. So what we can do is I can give you an example of, for instance, the squat. Anyone can do the squat. I just put that to one side.
Beautiful. Just because
So anyone can do the squat. So what you want is a squat. You don't want to sound like an old guy who's constipated, moving through a stiff body. We focus on the breathing, so we start breathing before we move. Relax, just give the shoulders a shake. And what I like to do is a squat over a period of maybe 10 seconds. So I relax, I breathe, and I count down. And I say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And you see the arms should there's no reason for the arms to be tense. Fold the pelvis in, all the way down, so you're resting on your haunches. Breathe, and as you come to the bottom, bounce, and straight away, slowly again, coming up, breathe. Now you're looking to really keep that tension minimal. Keep the smile on the face, keep the breath moving. Relax. Now ideally you maybe do these, 5 to 10, straight after one another. So let's humor me and straight into the next one you breathe. And what you're looking is, where does the tension come in? When you're feeling tension enter into the body, breathe through that part of the body. No reason for the arms to be quick, no reason for the neck to be stiff, just nice and loose, breathe. And you should be able to do these all day. You are recovering as you breathe and as you move moment by moment. Breathe, movement and breath. So you're soothing the body, you're soothing your psyche. Woo. And you can see, if you do it mindfully, already you can feel tension moving through the body. And that's telling you how to breathe, where to breathe, how to move.
It feels much smoother than when I would normally, sit and do squats. But there's a lot of heat.
Yes.
There's a lot of heat involved.
Yeah.
So slow, mindful movement and allowing yourself to move within the movement.
Exactly.
So you're not focusing on this standardized movement, but moving within the movement.
Exactly.
Which shows relaxation. Right?
Exactly. Another one of the things we like to do is just a simple press up. So I'll demonstrate. So again, press up position. I like to do mine on my knuckles. And again, just counting down 10, 9, 8, I breathe.
This is really annoying.
7.
The reason he's laughing.
6.
If you've ever tried to do a push-up with a 10-second down and a 10-second up, and try and move around so that your shoulders are moving just like that, it's not funny because I can do none of this, and I've actually been trying for a little bit. So this is what catches me. This is what makes me think that there has to be a different way of training, because someone like Kalvin can do this. Like if you see me trying to do it, as soon as I go into that position, I completely lock up. So my body associates load with tension. and then somehow maybe it's that tension that allows me to keep my structure. While, you know, with this frame of mind and with this kind of movement, your integrity is actually your ability to move like water. And I can see it, I like it, I just can't do it.
So what we're looking for is to feel there is structure already in the body. The bones, the ligaments, the fascia, they're holding us together. So what we want to do is feel that so we can work with it. Okay? So I'll join you. Okay? So first of all, make yourself comfortable to start off with. You know, wriggle the hips, breathe in, and before we move, we breathe. The breathing actually precedes and drives all of the movement. So breathing into the nose and out, and you keep the breath flowing in and out. Relax. Anywhere you find discomfort, breathe through that part of the body. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Relax, breathe. And when you go to the bottom, you don't stop, you just breathe, 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 breathe. Small soothing movements. Breathe. Feel how you need to breathe. And back to the top. And you know, once you're breathing correctly, you should find you don't fatigue.
That maybe is because you're watching, but that was actually much easier than the last time I tried. Starting with the breath, I think made all the difference.
Yes.
Normally we start with the movement and then we tell ourselves to breathe.
Exactly.
Well, starting with the breath,
Exactly.
and these are small things, but honestly try them. They're a bit of a game changer because it really makes you feel quite differently about how you're doing. I hate push-ups, I never do them, but this is quite a different thing. So, okay, so we've got the squat, we've got the push-up, what else?
Well, things like leg raises and things like sit-ups, also, you know, very fundamental exercises.
Yeah.
So, as an example, I'll give you an example of the sit-up. You don't want tension in the sit-ups. If you're doing the sit-ups like this, you can hear it in the body, I'm creating tension. So what you want is, you want your sit-up, body you see here is nice and relaxed. My arms are on the ground, relaxed. Give the body a shake, breathe, and all I want to do is just here, and let the body go. And just feel where I need a little bit of tension. And that's the only part of the body, so no need for the chest or the arms to be tense. For me here, with my balance, just and move, breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep the breath flowing. Down, all the way to the ground. Feel the body on the ground. Let the head touch. Feel the weight of the body into the ground. And then slowly engaging only what you need to engage to reinitiate the movement. We start with the breath before we move. And you should be nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. The longer you take, the more challenging the exercise will be. But as you can see, you know, not fatigued, not stressed, not anxious. No need to have tense arms when you're doing the sit-up.
So this kind of core strength, which has to come with this kind of slow, mindful movement, is very different to the kind of core strength that I think of, which is very stiff. It's actually much more a kind of fluid strength.
Much easier,
Yeah.
much more fluid. And so subsequently creates a lot less stress, a lot less anxiety, uses a lot less energy because you can feel what you're doing, makes you more injury resistant.
Yep.
And basically through that you get not only physical performance enhancement,
Yep.
but cognitive, your ability to think clearly with purpose and focus.
Okay, so these three movements, I know they fit together quite well. You can put them together. There is one more movement, which is a leg raise.
Yes, yes.
And if you can go through, I got to say, huge thanks to Bosco. Bosco was our cameraman until just now. We stole him from the middle of a massive shoulder session, and I think he was really feeling the holding the camera. Yeah.
Okay, so starting with the back on the ground, feeling the back flat on the ground. You can do this knees bent, knees straight, it's up to you. Ankles slightly apart, arms out to the side, and breathing to start the movement. Only breathing as much as I need to. Again, nice and slowly, feeling the back. Breathe, 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 breathe. Relax. To start off with, a good way to exercise is just to have the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Some advanced practitioners will actually take the body all the way over to the ground. And again, then slowly, with control and feeling, breathing. and releasing any tension you feel in the body. Arms should be relaxed, shoulders should be relaxed. Breathing, relaxing, feeling the back. And literally feeling every centimetre of the movement.
So what's deceptive here, guys? And thank you for jumping on. Thank you for listening. What's deceptive here is, so Kalvin's shown us a push-up, a sit-up, a leg raise, and a squat. Things that we all do. But the difference is, and believe me, I've felt this because he's made me push him, prod him, even hit him while he's doing this. Unlike certainly myself, he is completely relaxed. Like literally, he's like a baby lying on a cot. So he's able to do all these movements with total relaxation, working with his breath. So Kalvin, I know that then something that I've been using even outside of training, I do it at home, is when I have a few minutes, just putting a few of those movements together. Now, as I said, I'm here behind the camera, but can you just show us what that might look like? Obviously, it won't look like how I'm doing it, but
okay. So the trick is, again, to breathing relaxation, good posture, but combining it to create flow, and noticing that the quality of the flow is the quality of the other work. So one of the things we'll do is flow between movements. So I will breathe, I'll relax, I will do the press up, I'll relax, and I'll go straight from the press up in a relaxed way, breathe, and then I'll come to the sit up, and then maybe, let's say from here, seamlessly, what I want to move to do into the squat. So what happens is they become effectively one movement. Breathe, 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 breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Maybe from here I do a leg raise, come back straight to press up again, and press up, and I'll move straight into the squat. From the squat, breathe, relax, straight into the sit-up. So the idea is connecting these gross movements together in ways that do not create stress or tension and that keep breath moving through the body.
Well, so that's beautiful, and it's a lot better when I do it. There's a lot more thudding on the ground. So for me, the next thing is there was a partner exercise which I thought was very similar to this, because it made me kind of use those movements as part of a kind of with a goal in mind.
Yes.
Which was, and we actually have another movement legend right here, which is Glenn on the phone, and when he hops off the phone, we might get him in here and working through a partner exercise.
That's it. But I think the exercise you're talking about is the squats to push up to squat.
Oh no, I was talking about the partner drill where you're moving in and around
That's it. So
the other person.
The exercise you're talking about, it's like one of you forms a horse shape, hands and knees, and the other partner basically crawls over, around and through. So through the legs, through the arms. And again, the idea is to do this as comfortably as possible, being mindful of the breathing and without straining.
No, I love it, and it's a great exercise. This is Glenn Phipps. Once again, this is one of Australia's great movement legends. I got to say, we are absolutely spoiled here. They're all here at the same time. And you may have seen his running program that I've been going through and I've been really excited about. I know some Spartans actually took it on as well and have been really impressed with it and had great feedback. But Kalvin, I don't know if you want to, if Glenn goes into a 4-point stance, maybe you can demonstrate what you're talking about.
That's it. So what Glenn is going to have to do here, he's going to have to breathe and relax. Because what I'm going to do is basically explore him the same way a child would explore a climbing frame. Sounds a bit dodgy, but you see what I mean. So basically what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to relax and basically just find my way, using him like an obstacle. Okay, just through here, and then maybe breathing and relaxing through here. So what I really want to do is not so much crawl, but just change the shape of my body in ways that open it up so I can breathe. So if you can see at the moment, really what I'm doing, I'm actually avoiding using my hands. Okay, so it's using the body and breathing. So the idea is we'll do this for a couple of minutes. You do not want to elevate the blood pressure. So it's again, using the shape of the body as the tool, as the method of locomotion.
And if we switch around, and again, Glenn is not your average Joe. Glenn has great movement. So if we switch around, because Kalvin, I've also seen you add a little extra when you're doing this partner drill. Add a little extra incentive as well. So, so Glenn.
What am I doing?
So, Kalvin.
Okay, so again, you see how I just moved around the body?
Felt it.
Okay, well the thing is to try. So it's basically through the arms, through the legs, crawling around the body. So if you imagine you were a kid and you were crawling in and around and through a chair.
I can imagine a kid did.
Well, the thing is, put it in your mind, breathe, relax.
So I'm going under, yeah?
Everything,
Over,
anywhere you want, over, under,
over.
like a climbing frame, and you're keeping your breath, trying to stay as relaxed.
Try to stay as relaxed as possible.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Breathe. You're doing good. Breathe.
You're allowed to touch the ground.
Oh, you're allowed to.
The ground.
He just
I'm not allowed to touch the ground.
No, keep going. But that was amazing, by the way, Glenn.
I was impressed.
Keep going. So yeah, you can go through and around. Keep going.
But you want to keep them as close to one fluid movement as possible.
Okay.
Go through.
Oh, I'm not meant to use the arms, huh?
Well, you can avoid using the arms to make things a bit more challenging for yourself. But what you want to do is try to go through as many different gates as possible and not repeat the same movement. So you've been through that way, and maybe that way through the arms. And then backwards maybe through the arms.
So guys, this kind of childlike movement, yeah, that's it. The more you get into it, the more
through the hands.
you try and figure out and deal with the simplest puzzle, which is just using a human body as a climbing frame. And how do we move through and around? And this is really such a simple way to clear your mind. You found somebody? Oh my God, look at that. Everyone's a winner.
So as you can
yeah, exactly.
There's magic here.
So you can see for things like obstacle racing, climbing,
going through barbed wire crawls, going through tunnels. Absolutely.
Very useful for opening up the body.
And that all starts with the breath.
Exactly.
Right?
I did hold my breath like that.
There you go, but you become aware of it.
But because you held your breath, did you feel your heart rate then goes up and your kind of
that's
tension?
The first bit I felt okay, and then on the ground, and I was like,
Yeah. So I guess this is where, I think, and this is where the more we practice it, we keep coming back to the breath and using the breath to relax us. So, so Kalvin, that was great. Now, just that's breath. Oh, thanks, Glenn. That's awesome, mate. If you've got, so you shooting off? Do you have 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Can I borrow 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Can you grab? Can you grab that just so that I can jump in and talk to Kalvin without holding this? So Kalvin, look, to finish off this discussion, so breath and movement, really simple exercises: the push-up, the sit-up, the squat, the leg raise, putting them together, doing all of them slowly. So you might do only 2 or 3 at a time. And you know what? I'm literally finding myself at home. I've got a stand-up desk. I might work on the computer for 5-10 minutes, and then just go down slow, come back up slow, shake it out, and then carry on working. So it really is something that it's no longer training, it's just filler for all those little moments in your day. So aside from that, the other thing that we've really talked about is how breathing impacts on fear, and how breathing, when you feel tension in your body through emotional nervous response, breathing really allows you to deal with it in a different way. And it's not something you naturally think about these days. But
it's had to do with a bit of anxiety.
I wanted to just touch on that and just how you think we should, for instance, in the build up to a race, you're standing at the start line, it's your first race, you're a little tense, there's a lot of fit people around. What could you do, something really simple that would just help bring your heart rate down and make sure that you don't start the race with already elevated heart rate?
Okay, well of course practicing like a couple of breathing techniques. One we call tactical breathing. You can breathe in for a count of 4, suspend or pause the breath for a count of 4, out for a count of 4, and of course relaxing and moving the body. And then so basically, or you can call it square breathing. In, pause, out, pause, hence square breathing.
And for the same period of time.
Yeah. 4, 4, 4 works for most people. You know,
Yeah.
5, 5. I vary, but usually that 4 with 4 with 4 with 4 is what works for most people. In, relax the body, and as you relax the body and the breath is just pausing, and then out for the count of 4 again, and then in for the count of 4.
So pause after in, pause after out.
Exactly.
Okay, and then there's also burst breathing.
That's it, that's it.
So-
Burst breathing is, you'll use it in more, how can I put it, painful or stressful circumstances. So a few people have said, oh, it looks like, you know, when they had their child, the way, you know, they were breathing or the way their partner was breathing.
Yeah, it's like birth breathing.
Yeah, pretty much like birth breathing. So generally, it's short intakes through the nose and as long out through the mouth as we can. But you're really doing this under quite extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
So for example would be if you were to punch me in the stomach, and so you give the tension somewhere to leave the body. Because usually if you hit someone like that, and a tough guy, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
What I find is when I birth breathe, I feel heat, but there's no residual pain or tension.
And I guess it allows you to stay relaxed.
It does.
Through the movement.
It does.
Okay.
So you can be quick, hit, yeah, quite hard, and as long as your ego doesn't get in the way, you're okay. If your ego comes in, you think you're the tough guy, you'll be surprised.
All right. Well, one
Not
good
always
turn-
pleasantly,
One
but
good
you'll be
turn
surprised.
deserves another. Let me have a go.
Okay.
Like start easy on
Okay,
me.
so because we've done this a few times before, so what I want to do is I want to make sure.
Like Max,
nice
if you
and
line
relaxed.
up out here just for people to punch you.
And just making sure he's relaxed in the body, that he's breathing okay, that he's softer in the hips. So just here, and then all I'm going to start off is just making him breathe in, and then he breathes out and relaxes the stomach. So we don't want to traumatize our friend. We actually want to help him find relaxation. Good. In and long. Good. So what he's doing is he's balancing the pressure that I give him here with releasing that pressure from the lungs with the breath. And then what I'll do is just some light strikes. Everyone's been waiting for this. So what I do is I start very lightly, just to make sure he's okay, his posture's okay, his hips are soft, and just touch, just slightly, and look for the breathing, and see the body stays soft. Again, the body stays soft. And another 3, 1, 2, and one more.
Okay.
3. And you can burst breathe, reduce the pressure, reduce the tension in the body. Might not look like too much,
Yep.
but that was
This is the big joke about Systema. Doesn't look like much,
doesn't look like much.
but you feel it in places that you wouldn't feel other hits. But guys, what's the most amazing thing? And this is something you really have to experience for yourself. There are Systema schools around the country and around the world. What Kalvin's doing, I've had a few fights as a boxer in my formative years. Getting hit never particularly felt good. These kind of strikes, even though I really feel it, and I really felt it, you feel it in your spine. But in some strange way, even though you feel it's a challenge, it's intense, I feel really good afterwards. And what it's made me realize is it's all about how we take it, our emotional state, our breathing, how ready we are to take whatever's coming. And this is true in life. Whatever comes, every challenge is an opportunity. An opportunity to learn, an opportunity to have a good time. And this is where hopefully Spartan Race, and I know that you guys already know this, you know, every time we see something and we think, I can't do that, or I'm not going to go near that, part of you is maybe thinking, it would be cool to try, but I don't think so. Take that extra step, have a go. That's what all of us are trying to do, is just build the confidence within ourselves to be able to go and take that extra step. And I know that Spartan Race and doing a Spartan Race gives us that confidence because we put ourselves into a situation where we do not know what's around the next corner. We don't know what Paul or any of those other crazy Spartan Race directors have put in our way. And once we know we can deal with that, alone and together with people, suddenly we can deal with it out there, and suddenly challenges become opportunities. So guys, it's been a bit of a different session. Thank you so much, Kalvin, for coming and doing this. Kalvin's come up all the way, I was about to say from London. He has come all the way from London, but today he's come all the way from Sydney. And so guys, breathing, if you have time, just try those 4 basic movements: squat, push-up, sit-up, and leg raise. Try and put them together one after the other, and just see through the breathing, staying relaxed, making them slow and mindful. Just see what impact that has. Don't hit each other at home. If you want to hit each other, come to Kalvin's classes. You'll probably see me there. He's in Sydney, but I know that there's Systema classes going on everywhere in Melbourne, in Brizzy, and all over. So go and try it out. It's something different. But guys, for now, keep training. We've got the Gold Coast coming up on the 11th of next month, which is really exciting. So it's only about 3.5 weeks away. Melbourne after that, and then Adelaide, guys, we've got just over 6 weeks to get that 2,000. We're about halfway right now, so we need another 1,000 people. We just released the Adelaide venue. It looks amazing. I've been there. It's a stunning venue. It could be one of our highlights of the year, that new venue in Adelaide. So guys, if you can, if you either live in South Australia, you know people who live in South Australia, or you want to go down to Adelaide and take part, sign up. It's 1 cent. It's going to cost you 1 cent to vote and to make it happen. And then obviously we're going to have to register. But hopefully I'll see you at the start line of a race soon. Keep training and have a fantastic weekend. Kalvin, one more time, thanks brother. Thanks guys.
Absolute pleasure.